Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Rocks Pull List. This is my pull list for 2 weeks. The last week of 2015, which was December 30th, and for the first week in 2016, which is January 6th. I went on vacation with my family to Portland for a few days. Visited a friend, Sarah, and her husband Justin. They were really great in putting us up for like 5 days. Really amazing. I got to go to Powell's bookstore, which I'll have something to feature here that I got there, and also did a comic shop tour of about 5 shops in the area. Two of them I had already been to, and they're just great shops, so I wanted to go back again. Got a decent amount of books from them for binding projects, and I got a couple knickknacks here, stuff here and there. Hopefully I'll be able to get my a blog post up about that, and maybe even a small video, but we'll see if I'll have time. Hopefully this week, maybe. Trying to get the apartment in order a little bit more. Christmas was chaotic. The kids got tons of stuff. I got tons of stuff. My fiance got tons of stuff. So yeah, we're just trying to fit it all into our nice 2-bedroom apartment that is way too overpriced. So yeah, so let's first get into it. These are my this is my pull list from the last week in 2015 for December 30th. First up is a Batman and Robin Eternal number 13. I am 13 issues behind, and I need to get caught up, but I hear it's good, so we'll see. Then next up we have Batman Europa number 3. I have not started reading the Batman Europas. At this point I'll probably get all 4 before I start reading them, and then I'll just sit down and power through it. But we'll see if they're good. Next up is Greg Rucka's Black Magic number 3. First 2 issues were pretty cool. I'm curious to see where issue 3 takes us, but the art is amazing because it's Nicola Scott. Highly recommend her as an artist. Love her stuff. Next up we have Dr. Fate number 7. Been enjoying it so far. I think I haven't gotten to the next story arc, but we'll see where that goes. But enjoyed what I've read so far. Next up is East of West number 23. So picked up East of West, which is one of Bryce's top 3 books for the year. Next up is The Flash number 47. We'll see what happens in that. So his mom, all that wonderful stuff. Then a little delayed. Well, I mean, I guess it's not really delayed, but seems like it was a long time. Harley Quinn and Power Girl number 6. So hopefully that's the end of that adventures for the 2 of them. Then next up we have Justice League 47, The Dark Side War Part 7. I need to actually read the one-shots and get caught up with Justice League, but it's really, really good stuff, and I really want to get to it. But again, I have this huge amount of books that I need to read just because it's winter time, it's been rainy, I haven't been able to walk and read at work. Yeah, so I just need to I need to get a winter schedule down for reading, but yeah. Then next up we have Lazarus, another Greg Rucka book, the number 21. Lazarus is a slow burn, but it's really good stuff. I've enjoyed it since the beginning, so I'm going to keep going with it. Next up is a new number 1 from Vertigo. This is Lucifer, most likely being released due to the TV show that's supposed to be coming out this month. I'm excited for it. I'm curious to see what it's all about. I'm a little behind on TV shows. I need to watch Jessica Jones. I need to try and go back and watch Gotham. Swords of Shannara, or the Chronicles of Shannara, I should say, started tonight. I'm hoping to check that out. Hopefully we have it on MTV on our cable package, and I can on-demand it. Next up we have the Omega Men number 7. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm a few issues behind, but whatever. Then last but not least, we have our wonderful Harley Little Black Book variants. Flash had one right there. Awesome stuff. Terry Dotson cover. I did not actually get a chance to grab the polybag versions, but Ryan ordered some more, so I'm going to be able to get those, so I'll have those later. Then there's a pretty cool Jim Lee Justice League color one. Highly recommend grabbing that one, baby. It's pretty awesome. I'm tempted to actually go get the sketches. And then we have an Amanda Connor Wonder Woman 47 Harley Quinn variant. And then also, lastly, coming out at the end of the year, a month late, is 2 months late actually, is Black Canary number 6, the Looney Tunes variant. So that finishes off my Looney Tunes variant buying. and my Harley Quinn Little Black Book variant buying, except for those poly bags I need to grab. So that was all the books I read, or all the books I picked up, I should say. I have like no space over here to put this. I'll just shove this down here. So those are all the titles that I picked up last week while I was gone. I got some reads, picked up some reads this week, but didn't really remember which ones were which, so I didn't include that. But let's get on to first week of 2016. Really tiny week, actually, for most books, or for publishers this week. I'm curious why, but who knows. First up is Batman and Robin Eternal, number 14 is on my pull list. Again, now I'm 14 issues behind, so I need to get caught up, but we'll see. Then next up we have DC Comics Bombshells, number 8. This collects digital issues 22 to 24. I'm a little behind on the Bombshells ones, but I've enjoyed the first few that I've read, so I'm going to keep going with it. Then next up we have Detective Comics number 48. Really enjoying what's going on with Jim as Batman. Tomasi's writing this one, so I'm looking forward to it. Then next up we have Paper Girls number 4 by Brian K. Vaughan. This one was... we were shorted at the shop, but I was able to procure the last shelf copy, so we're going to get some more, so we'll have more of those hopefully next week or sooner. Then next up we have Swamp Thing, number 1 of 6. It's Ween. Check it out, see how it is. Disappointed they stopped the Swamp Thing series from the New 52, but we'll see if that can revitalize some of the Swamp Thing love out there. Then next up we have Exo Manowar number 43. Enjoying Exo Manowar from what I've read too. Again, I'm a few issues behind, but hey, what can you do? Then there's some DC variants this month. I'm actually kind of excited about these. My fiance got kind of obsessed with adult coloring books. She's gone through a buying spree of getting them. She's got a ton of them. I got her a Prima color pencil set, really like expensive ones for Christmas, and she's super excited because to do coloring and stuff like that. She's done a little bit, but DC is having their adult coloring book variant covers, so I figured I'd try and participate in her coloring escapades. So the first up variant this week is Action Comics 48. It's basically just a cover that comes on the book that you can color, but the actual regular cover is underneath it. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Next up is Green Arrow number 48. This one looks to be the one I'm probably going to enjoy the most. Simplest thing. Not too good with the complex stuff, and this one is probably the most complex of them all. It is Green Lantern 48, Mike Aldred's coloring book variant cover. So yeah, so we'll see. If I actually color them, I might show you guys to show you how horrible I am, or maybe how good I am at coloring. Who knows? But yeah, decent stack of books to read this week. So this is my read list. That was all my pull list. I'm done with it. A small, tiny week for me, pull list wise. But read list, A-Force number 1 comes out. We'll see if it's any good. The Secret Wars one was okay. A book that was shipped a little, there was some books that were shipped a little weird over the past 2 weeks. And this is one of them, Amazing Spider-Man number 6. I think it was supposed to be out last week, but I think it came out Friday. I don't know. It's some weird release date, but picked that one up for this week. Next up we have Archie number 5. Mark Waid and who's the artist now? Veronica Fish is the artist now. But Archie number 5. Been enjoying the Archie books. Highly recommend them if you just want kind of something different. And you like that teenage stuff. Next up was Batman Beyond number 8. I'm surprised it's gotten to issue 8. I'm curious to see how far Batman Beyond actually gets. The last few series haven't gotten past a certain amount of issues, but been enjoying it so far. It's good stuff, so we'll see where it goes. Next up is Contest of Champions number 4. I have no idea if I'm continuing to read this, if I even read number 3, but I'm probably going to cut that from my read this because it's not that great. Next up we have Doctor Strange number 4. Been enjoying Jason Aaron's version of Doctor Strange, so I'm looking forward to diving in some more on that one. As a new number 1 from Image, this is Four Eyes, Hearts of Fire. Have no idea what this book is about, but I'm going to check it out, see if it's worth continuing reading. Then you already saw the variants for these, but the next 2 are Green Arrow number 48 with a very hideously ugly cover. And then we have Green Lantern number 48, and apparently Robot Batman has to make an appearance in every single title. I think they're trying to bump sales of that. The next up we have Midnighter number 8. Stephen Orlandi's doing a great job with this book. Love checking it out. That's probably one I'm just going to pick up and trade eventually, but for now, just reading the single issues. Then next up we have The Sheriff of Babylon number 2, a Vertigo title. Issue 1 was pretty cool, so I'm going to keep going with it, see if it continues to be interesting. Then next up we have Spider-Man 2099 number 5. This is one of those weird ones that came out Friday or around that time, so yeah, we'll see. I've been enjoying it. It's great stuff. Then we have next up we have Star Wars number 14. This is Vader Down part 5 of 6, so Vader Down's coming to a close. The Star Wars books have been awesome. If you love The Force Awakens, if you love Star Wars, I highly recommend you getting into Star Wars and Star Wars Darth Vader. They're really solid titles. I'm kind of waiting on hardcovers for the collected editions, but it's really good stuff. Yeah. So next up is Darth Vader number 15. This is part 6 of Vader Down. So Vader Down's coming to a close. So we'll see how it goes, but it's been an amazing kind of story arc that's been running through Star Wars and Darth Vader. So I'm curious to see where that ends up. And then another odd one that shipped was Star Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin number 1 by Charles Soule. I'm really curious to see Charles Soule's writing on a Star Wars book. So we'll see. It's not necessarily the funnest character since it's Anakin. Hayden Christian left such a bad taste in all of our mouths that, yeah, we kind of wish for days where episodes 1, 2, and 3 don't ever exist. 2 more books on the read list. We have Uncanny X-Men number 1. I have I mean, hopefully it's good. We'll see. I mean, my expectations are low for that book because I haven't really been reading X titles. And then last up on the read list is The Vision number 3. The first issue was a little jarring, but the second issue made up for the kind of that it left on my palate. But really looking forward to reading Vision. Just good solid stuff all around. But yeah, that's giant stack of... Technically it's a giant stack for me, but I mean overall it's kind of a tiny week or almost medium-sized week for books. So yeah, when you get down to your shop, you're going to have some interesting stuff to look at. So while I was in Portland, I did a comic shop tour. I've done a couple of these in the past. They're really fun. Trip, my buddy Trip, was kind enough to be the driver in the little escapade. And so we went to 5 different shops. Those shops were Floating World Comics, which is kind of a boutique comic book store. If you don't know what a boutique comic book store is they mainly focus on graphic novels and some current comics, but no real back issues. Floating World had a large selection of very independent comic books, like creator type books that aren't necessarily through Diamond, but more so through consignment and all that stuff. Nice little place. I actually snagged a copy of, I broke my rule, but it was 40% off, 45% off, and no sales tax. But I picked up volume 1 of Star Wars Skywalker Strikes, volume 1 of Star Wars on the cheap. I'll just keep it around, can read it again and stuff like that, but I really am waiting for the hardcovers on these because I'm just, they're so good. So yeah, I got that from Floating World. Then we went to Bridge City Comics, which is on Mississippi. Yeah, it was a nice little boutique store. They had a little bit more merchandising there. Nice little shop. Got a couple things from that place. Yeah, for the most part, just kind of a nice little quiet store. Not really a back issue selection, but again, more graphic novels and current comics, and a lot of merchandising. So yeah, picked up a couple things there. Then went and got a couple donuts at a place called Blue Star Donuts. Really good stuff. I actually ate a donut for the first time in like 2.5 years because they had vegan options. Portland is very vegan friendly. I like that city, and hopefully maybe be moving there, but we'll see. Time will only tell. And then after a trip and I had some donuts, we went to this place called Future Dreams, which I'm not going to get into now, but in my write-up for my comic shop tour, I will go into a lot more detail on Future Dreams. Yeah, there's not really any dreaming involved in that shop. Well, there is dreaming, but it's a different type of dreaming. So, yeah. And then after that, we stopped by Excalibur Comics, which is Brian Michael Bendis's place to go. Debbie still owns it. She's an amazing woman. Has been running it for years. Really, really cool lady. Talked to her for a little bit. Got a couple back issues for my binds. And then we ended up at Cosmic Monkey Comics, which is probably my favorite shop in Portland that I've been to. And they just got a really great overall selection of everything: graphic novels, current books, back issues, merchandising, just the whole 9 yards. They even have the really independent comic books by the creators and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, I highly recommend checking out Cosmic Monkey. I did grab a t-shirt, but I don't know where I put it. I know it's in a pile of clothes somewhere. Well, maybe I'll wear it on one of these videos for you guys. But yeah, that's my comic shop tour, kind of quick in a nutshell. I'll get into it hopefully a little bit more on my blog post, which hopefully I can get up fairly soon. I have some pictures that I took for you guys to check out. But the big thing that I got kind of over while I was on vacation was we went to Powell's bookstore. My fiance had never been to Powell's, and I never should have taken her there because, oh man, she loves that place. I love that place too. But I went into their rare book room on the 3rd floor, or the top floor, I should say, and came across a nice little Absolute. And for the price, I couldn't pass it up because it basically cover price, and it's the first printing. But I did snag the Crisis on Infinite Earths Absolute. It's a nice, ginormous. It's got the companion too. Oh, I guess I could just flip it over. Oh, there we go. So it's got the regular one and the companion. Just a nice, solid Absolute to add to my Absolute collection. The great thing is they mailed it to me. I actually got it today at the shop. Did a great job packing it. Powell's is an amazing bookstore. If you're ever in Portland, I highly recommend checking out Powell's. Yeah, it's just really solid bookstore, and it's kind of what you want a bookstore to be when you go to a bookstore. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I got a lot of cleaning up to do. If you notice, I'm sporting my nice, pretty Harley Quinn bombshell statue there in the background. My wonderful fiance tracked it down on eBay, bought it for Christmas for me, and now I have the Harley Quinn bombshell, which I've been wanting for years since I didn't pick it up when it originally came out. So yeah, she's a very amazing woman, and I am glad. I'm lucky, I guess, that she loves me so much. So yeah, so that's it for the pull list. Getting tired plugging away at this stuff. So yeah, so thanks again for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. You can leave comments down below in the comment section. I always like reading on those. Need to get a little bit better about replying on a faster rate, but do appreciate the comments and all that stuff. Again, thank you. Weird. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can listen to me on the Comic Conspiracy podcast. We just recorded tonight. I can't remember what episode number it was, but it's just me, Ryan, and Bryce. Bryce and I give our top 3 comics from DC, Marvel, independent, our top 3 movies, our top 3 TV shows. So it's kind of a 2015 in review episode because neither of us were able to be on last week. But yeah, good episode. So there'll be a link to that in the description below. Yep. And remember, you can go to conspiratorbrock.com. So hopefully where I'll have my pull lists, or these pull lists are posted, and where I'll have my comic shop tour thing. So yeah,
To all of this, also you can help us out on the Comic Conspiracy by going to Patreon and supporting us through Patreon. I think it's www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy. As for as little as $1 a month, you can help us with hosting and all that wonderful stuff, and you get access to our Bryce Brieflies, which episode 4 should be up tonight. So for as little as $1, you can have access to Bryce talking briefly about stuff. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I'm going to finish up now since I'm hitting the 20-minute mark. This is a long one, but if you've been watching all the way through, appreciate it, and I will see you next week.